First Contact and Deception. The stars looked different from the command deck of the ESS Horizon. Captain Maya Chen stood with her hands clasped behind her back, dark eyes scanning the vast emptiness before her. 30 years of human expansion throughout the solar system had transformed humanity. No longer bound to Earth, colonies now flourished on Mars, mining operations dotted the asteroid belt, and research stations orbited the gas giants. "Captain, you need to see this," said Lieutenant James Rodriguez, his voice tense with urgency. He handed her a data pad showing unusual energy signatures at the edge of the solar system. They appeared suddenly, 7 objects decelerating from what must have been faster than light travel. Chen's heart raced, but her face remained composed. "Alert Admiral Warren, and get Dr. Reeves to the bridge immediately." Within the hour, the ESS Horizon's command center hummed with activity. Admiral Sarah Warren's face filled the main screen, her expression grave. "The objects are maintaining position just beyond Neptune's orbit," Rodriguez reported. "They're definitely artificial constructs, each one massive. Largest is approximately 3 kilometers in length." Dr. Elias Reeves rushed onto the bridge. As Earth's foremost xenolinguist and cultural specialist, he had prepared for this theoretical moment his entire career. Yet nothing could truly ready humanity for what was about to unfold. "They're not hiding," Chen noted. "They want to be seen." The alien vessels glided into the solar system with impossible grace for their size. They arranged themselves in a formation that could only be deliberate. A message: "We are here. We are organized. And we are powerful." When the communication came, it was in perfect English. It played across every communication device in the solar system simultaneously. "People of Earth and its colonies, we are the Solarian Alliance, a peaceful coalition of 7 advanced species. We come with greetings and an offer of friendship." Admiral Warren convened an emergency meeting of Earth's United Defense Council. Representatives from every major colony joined via secure channels. "I don't trust them," said General Victor Cruz bluntly. "No one travels interstellar distances just to say hello." Dr. Reeves studied the visual recordings of the alien representatives. "Their biology is fascinating," he said. "Humanoid but clearly evolved under different conditions. The one calling himself Ambassador Vex shows subtle physiological responses that don't match his friendly words." "Meaning?" asked Warren. "He's hiding something," Reeves said simply. Captain Chen frowned. "Why would an advanced civilization need anything from us?" The question hung in the air, unanswered. The first meeting took place on neutral ground, an orbital platform between Earth and Mars. Captain Chen stood beside Dr. Reeves as Earth's welcoming committee. The alien ship docked with precision that spoke of technology centuries beyond human capability. Ambassador Vex emerged first, tall and slender with iridescent skin that rippled with color as he moved. His 4 eyes blinked independently rather than together. Behind him came representatives from 2 other species, one with crystalline structures protruding from its shoulders, another whose body seemed to flow like liquid mercury. "Captain Chen," Vex said, extending a 6-fingered hand, "we are pleased to meet humanity face to face." Chen took the offered hand. "Welcome to the Sol system, Ambassador." The diplomatic exchange was cordial but guarded. The aliens spoke of trade, cultural exchange, and technological sharing. They mentioned their alliance's long history of bringing emerging civilizations into their collective. Later, in private, Dr. Reeves shared his observations with Chen and Admiral Warren. "They're scanning everything," he said. "Their sensory organs work differently than ours, but I could tell they were assessing our weapons, our technology, even our physical capabilities." "Did you notice how they dismissed our fusion drives?" Chen added, as if they were humoring children. Over the next weeks, more Alliance ships arrived. They requested permission to visit Earth and the colonies. They spoke of friendship but positioned their vessels near key defense installations. Admiral Warren grew increasingly concerned. "They're mapping our defenses," she told the United Defense Council. "I'm ordering covert military preparations. Nothing aggressive, but I want us ready. The breaking point came during a diplomatic dinner aboard the ESS Horizon. Ambassador Vex, slightly affected by Earth wine, spoke more freely than before. "Your civilization has such potential," he said to Dr. Reeves. "Under proper guidance, humans could become a valuable member of the Alliance within just a few generations." "And what exactly does membership entail?" Reeves asked carefully. "Protection, direction, purpose." Vex smiled, showing teeth too perfect to be natural. "In exchange for reasonable access to your resources, of course, and acceptance of Alliance governance in certain matters." Reeves maintained his professional smile, but his eyes met Captain Chen's across the room. The message was clear. Their suspicions were confirmed. That night, Admiral Warren received a transmission from one of their deep space intelligence operatives. The agent had infiltrated Alliance communications and discovered disturbing information. 23 other species had been welcomed into the Alliance over the past 3 centuries. None remained truly independent. "They call it guided integration," the agent reported. "First comes diplomatic pressure, then economic dependence, and finally military occupation if necessary. But it always ends the same, with complete subjugation." The next morning, Earth's representatives delayed signing any agreements, citing the need for further study. The Alliance ambassadors maintained their pleasant demeanor, but something cold entered their eyes. As Vex returned to his ship, he activated a private communication channel to his superiors. "The humans are proving slightly more cautious than anticipated," he reported, "but they remain predictable and technologically inferior. Their defenses are primitive, their weapons ineffective. The largest colony has fewer than 100,000 inhabitants." The voice that responded was deep and resonant. "His acquisition still recommended?" "Absolutely," Vex replied. "This system is rich in resources, and the humans will make adequate workers. Their resistance would be insignificant. Earth will be a simple acquisition. Proceed as planned." Captain Chen stood again at the observation window of the ESS Horizon, watching the Alliance ships in orbit around Earth. She didn't know what the aliens were saying to each other, but she knew what humanity's answer would be. They had faced challenges before: disease, war, climate disaster, and had survived. They would face this challenge too. "Captain," Lieutenant Rodriguez called from behind her. "Admiral Warren has issued alert status for all ships and colonies. We're to prepare for possible hostile action." Chen nodded without turning. "Send word to Luna Base. Tell Dr. Nakamura to activate Project Phoenix." "Yes, sir," Rodriguez replied. "Do you think they'll really attack us?" Chen did turn then, her face resolute in the dim light of the bridge. "They think we're weak, Lieutenant. Throughout human history, that's always been a dangerous mistake." The attack came without warning. Alliance ships descended on Earth's orbital defense platforms with weapons that bent space itself. The first platform exploded in a ball of fire visible from the planet's surface. "All ships engage according to plan," ordered Captain Chen from the ESS Horizon. "Do not deviate from assigned targets." The human fleet moved into position, seemingly outmatched by the alien vessels. The Alliance commanders watched with something like pity as the human ships approached. "How predictable," said Krell, the Alliance military commander. "They form a direct defensive line, just as primitive species always do in their first interstellar conflict." Then something unexpected happened. As the Alliance weapons locked onto the human vessels, the ships split apart in a maneuver that seemed impossible for their size. What looked like single ships were actually clusters of smaller craft, moving with perfect coordination. "What is this?" demanded Krell as his targeting systems struggled to adjust. On Luna Base, Dr. Nakamura activated Project Phoenix. The device, built from theoretical physics that most of Earth's scientists had dismissed as impossible, sent out a pulse that washed over the solar system like an invisible tide. Aboard the Alliance ships, systems flickered. Their advanced shields weakened for just 30 seconds, but it was enough. Shield disruption confirmed. Rodriguez called out on the Horizon's bridge. All ships, fire now. Human vessels fired weapons that were far more advanced than the Alliance had believed possible. The primitive projectiles contained cores of exotic materials that pierced the weakened alien shields. 3 Alliance vessels suffered critical damage in the first exchange. The others pulled back, regrouping in shock. Impossible, Krell sputtered. Their technology cannot be this advanced. Vex's face hardened. We underestimated them, but we still have superior numbers and firepower. Launch the second wave. The battle raged across Earth's orbit. Human casualties were heavy, but the aliens found themselves in a fight they hadn't expected. Commander Elena Diaz led a team of special forces in ships too small to track properly. They slipped through the chaos of battle and attached themselves to the hull of an Alliance vessel. Cutting through now, Diaz reported as her team burned through the alien ship's outer skin. The human soldiers fought their way to the bridge. The Alliance crew, unused to direct combat, fell quickly. Within 20 minutes, Diaz's team had control of the ship. Vessel secured, she reported to Captain Chen. We're downloading their systems now. The Alliance commanders, realizing what had happened, ordered an immediate retreat. Their remaining ships pulled back to the edge of the solar system. But Earth knew this was just the beginning. Humanity unleashed. In the aftermath of the first battle, Admiral Warren met with Earth's leaders. The mood was somber despite their unexpected success. We won this engagement, Warren said, but their full fleet will return. This was just a small force. How did we stand against their technology? Asked one of the civilian leaders. Dr. Nakamura stepped forward. 2 reasons. First, Project Phoenix, a theoretical shield disruption technology we've been developing for decades. And second, they don't understand how we fight, said Captain Chen. They expected us to follow standard military doctrine as they know it, but humans have fought each other for thousands of years. We've developed strategies they've never seen before. On the captured Alliance ship, Lieutenant Rodriguez found something interesting in their communications. They're confused, he told Chen. Listen to this. The recording played Krell's voice speaking to his superiors. These humans don't fight like a civilization that's never faced interstellar war. They fight like they've been waiting for us. In the days that followed, Dr. Nakamura and his team worked continuously to understand the captured Alliance technology. The Special Forces teams trained to operate the alien vessel. Earth prepared for the bigger battle that everyone knew was coming. We need to be ready, Admiral Warren told her commanders. The next time, they won't underestimate us. On the main Alliance ship at the edge of the solar system, Krell studied the battle recordings with growing concern. These humans were not like other species the Alliance had conquered. They adapted quickly, fought fiercely, and seemed to understand warfare on a level that should have been impossible for their development stage. We need reinforcements, he told Vex. Not just ships, but our best warriors. Vex nodded slowly. The High Council has already dispatched the Third Fleet. They will arrive in 5 Earth days. Will it be enough? Krell wondered, more to himself than to his companion. Neither of them said what both were thinking. For the first time in the Alliance's long history of conquest, there was doubt. 5 days passed quickly. Earth used every minute to prepare. In cities across the planet, civilians moved into underground shelters. On the Moon and Mars, colonies went into lockdown. The captured alien ship provided valuable information, but not enough to fully understand Alliance technology. Jilly was just a mining engineer before the invasion. Now she stood in a workshop filled with equipment that had been built for extracting ore, not fighting wars. This might actually work, she muttered as she made final adjustments to what had once been a drilling machine. The device now housed parts from 3 different mining tools, plus components that hadn't existed until Gia designed them last week. A military officer watched from the doorway. We need 50 more by tomorrow. Gia wiped sweat from her forehead. You'll have them. All across Earth, people like Gia adapted everyday tools into weapons of war. Fishing boats carried sensors. Farm equipment was rebuilt into anti-aircraft guns. This was not how the Alliance expected war to work. In a secure facility beneath Geneva, Dr. Reeves interviewed the few Alliance crew members who had been captured alive. As a xenolinguist, he sought to understand how they thought. "Your species fights strangely," said a captured Alliance officer with crystalline growths along its spine. "You don't follow proper battle formations." "What would be proper formations?" asked Reeves. "Direct engagement, honorable confrontation of forces," replied the alien. "Not this scattering and hiding and striking from shadows." Reeves made notes. The aliens had no concept of guerrilla warfare. This was valuable information. When the Third Fleet arrived, it came with overwhelming force. Over 100 Alliance ships filled Earth's skies. Their message was simple: surrender or be destroyed. Earth's answer came in the form of Admiral Warren activating the planet's new defense network. Thousands of small unmanned drones launched from hidden locations. They weren't powerful enough to destroy the alien ships, but they confused Alliance sensors and targeting systems. "Begin the ground invasion," ordered the Alliance commander. "Secure their major cities and government centers." Alliance troops landed in New York, Beijing, London, Moscow, and 20 other major cities. They expected to find panicked humans surrendering in the streets. Instead, they found empty buildings and deadly traps. In New York, Commander Diaz led a resistance group that struck at alien patrols and then disappeared into underground tunnels before reinforcements arrived. "They don't understand urban warfare," Diaz told her team. "They expect us to gather in large groups and fight in the open." On the ESS Horizon, now hidden in the asteroid belt, Captain Chen received reports from Earth. "The enemy is growing frustrated," Rodriguez said. "They can't hold any territory for long." Admiral Warren nodded. "And their ships?" "Maintaining orbit above major cities," Rodriguez replied. "But our ground-based weapons are keeping them from using their main guns. They can't bombard us without getting close, and getting close puts them at risk." In his lab on Luna Base, Dr. Nakamura made a breakthrough. The captured ship's drive system. He explained to a group of engineers, "We can modify it to produce a localized disruption field. It won't destroy their ships, but it will disable their weapons temporarily." "How many can we build?" asked one of the engineers. "With Earth's manufacturing capacity, dozens at least," Nakamura replied. The war spread across the solar system. Alliance forces attacked Mars colonies and mining operations in the asteroid belt. But everywhere they went, they found humans who fought not like soldiers, but like survivors, with creativity, desperation, and unexpected tactics. Jilli's modified mining equipment proved devastatingly effective against Alliance ground forces. The devices tunneled beneath alien positions and detonated, collapsing the ground under their feet. "They fight with mining tools," an Alliance commander reported in disbelief. "They turn children's toys into explosive devices. They have no honor." Dr. Reeves continued his interviews with captured aliens. "Your species seemed surprised by our resistance," he said to an Alliance officer. The alien had grown thinner during captivity. "Your world should have fallen within days. This is not how conquest works." "How does it usually work?" Reeves asked. "We demonstrate superior force. The inferior species recognizes this superiority and submits," the alien explained. "It is logical. It is efficient. Humans don't think that way," Reeves told him. "In our history, even greatly outmatched forces have fought to the last person." The alien's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "This is not rational." In orbit around Earth, a new Alliance command ship arrived. High Commander Zenith had personally come to oversee the conquest that was taking far too long. "Explain this failure," he demanded of Krell. "The humans do not behave as our studies predicted," Krell replied. "They fight without proper military doctrine. They sacrifice strategic positions to set traps. They use primitive technology in ways we never considered. They are savages," Zenith said dismissively. increase our forces, destroy their cities if necessary. But the Alliance was learning a painful lesson about humanity. Destroying a city did not break human resolve. It strengthened it. Each attack only increased Earth's determination to fight back. 3 months into the full invasion, the Alliance controlled less territory than they had after the first week. Their casualties mounted, their supply lines stretched thin. On Luna Base, Dr. Nakamura's team completed the first batch of disruption field generators. Earth's remaining ships were equipped with the devices, as were the captured Alliance vessels that human crews had learned to pilot. "We're ready for a counterattack," Admiral Warren told Earth's unified command. "For the first time, we can take the fight to them." Captain Chen studied the battle plans. "This is risky. If we commit our reserves and fail—" "We won't fail," said Rodriguez with fierce certainty. "We've studied their tactics for months. They're predictable. They don't adapt." The counterattack began at dawn. Earth forces struck Alliance fleet positions with perfect coordination. The disruption fields worked even better than expected, leaving alien ships defenseless for crucial minutes. Commander Diaz led boarding parties onto 3 Alliance command ships. The aliens fought bravely, but were unprepared for close combat with humans who had been fighting for their homes for months. By day's end, 7 major Alliance vessels had been captured or destroyed. The rest retreated to higher orbits beyond the range of Earth's new weapons. In his command center, High Commander Zenith faced a situation his species had never encountered in thousands of years of conquest. "We are losing," he said simply to his officers, "against a species that only recently achieved space travel." "What shall we do?" asked Krell. Zenith's answer was cold. "Request permission from the High Council to use extinction-level weapons. These humans are too dangerous to be allowed to exist." News of the Alliance's request reached Earth through an unexpected source. A junior officer aboard Zenith's command ship could not stand by while an entire species was wiped out. The warning gave Earth precious time to prepare. The final battle came 3 days later when the Alliance's planet killer weapon arrived. It was a massive construct, larger than any ship they had deployed before. As it approached Earth, Admiral Warren executed the last phase of humanity's defense plan. Every captured Alliance ship, piloted by volunteer crews, drove directly into the weapon platform. The disruption fields weakened its defenses enough for Jia Li's modified mining explosives, now scaled up exponentially, to penetrate deep into its core. The resulting explosion was visible from Mars. In the aftermath, the remaining Alliance forces faced a choice: continue a war they were now losing or retreat and report their failure. They chose retreat, but not before Captain Chen delivered a message to High Commander Zenith. "We will not pursue you beyond our solar system," she told him. "But know this: humanity is not interested in becoming part of your alliance. We are, however, willing to negotiate as equals for peace between our peoples." Zenith, who had never negotiated with a lesser species before, found himself considering the offer. "Why would we trust you after this conflict?" Chen's answer was simple: "Because unlike you, we don't seek to conquer. We only seek to survive. And now you understand what happens when humanity is threatened." 6 months later, a new treaty was established. The Solarian Alliance recognized Earth and its colonies as a sovereign territory. In exchange, humans agreed to share some of their unique technological innovations, particularly their creative adaptations of everyday technology for defense. On the observation deck of the rebuilt ESS Horizon, Captain Chen stood with Dr. Reeves, watching the stars. "Do you think they'll honor the treaty?" Reeves asked. Chen nodded. "I do. They're logical beings, after all. And we've given them something logical to consider." "What's that?" "That underestimating humanity is the most illogical thing they could possibly do." As they spoke, across the galaxy, the High Council of the Alliance was adding a new protocol to their acquisition procedures. Systems containing human populations were to be approached with extreme caution, or better yet, avoided altogether. They had learned what many before them had discovered. They understood power, but nothing had prepared them for humanity's fury.